Perfectionism is always a challenge, and it was what was stopping me from making for a whole while, because that's not good enough, that doesn't look real, that's not what I set out to do. So that perfectionism really held me back for a little while, and even wanting to make stuff, even questioning like, what's the point if I can't do it this exact way, which was a big challenge, and it still creeps up every now and then, and I'm sure it's something that a lot of creatives face. Hi, I'm Meg Golding. I'm an artist based in Malvern, Worcestershire, and my practice is definitely in a building stage, but I'm very much interested in medieval illuminations and mystical, magical, whimsical scenes and settings and vibes, with a little bit of suspended narrative or suggested narrative in the compositions of the characters and scenes and objects that I like to depict.
Why do you think you've gone towards that style of?
I definitely think it's a release from trying to be too stylised or trying to be too realistic. There's a lot of pressure of that around, and looking at what other artists are doing currently. But when you take a step back, I definitely took a step back, and like a year or so out of creating for a while. Getting back into it was very much finding what interested me and what made me happy when creating it and playing around with stuff, and this is the outcome of that.
Why do you think you've ended up here in Malvern?
Just a series of quite lucky events of job opportunity and then rental opportunity that was lucky enough to get. I'm just glad I kept my eyes open and was looking for those things, because otherwise this might not have happened. We might not have a studio right now, but here we are. When I was at university, there was this one lecturer who said a few times that you'll never make any money from your art to us, which isn't how you inspire art students as an art lecturer, even though it's not all just for the money. But that was a little bit of inspiration of, I'll show you, or we'll see in the future what happens. So don't take every word as gospel from.
Do you try and avoid that same thing when you're teaching?
I try to be more open-minded and positive and uplifting. I feel like, especially with the range of students these days, if you're too harsh, you will just crush their dreams.
What do you think the next big step is?
Get a bit more serious about stuff from the studio. I think the plan is to make a lot of things that are somewhat cohesive, and then, when I mean get serious about it, document it really well, have a professional website, more professional Instagram, apply for competitions and galleries and grants and that type of stuff. But I feel I would be more successful, or at least grounded in that, if I was to have something to offer first, a body of work.
Is this the route that you expected?
Looking back, I'm not sure what I expected. There's always this daydream, especially when you're interested in being creative, of I'm going to make this artwork and it's going to make me famous and everything's going to be amazing and work out. There's going to be no worry of money, no worry of jobs. But that is a fantasy. Sometimes it does work out that way. It'd be cool if that still happened. Part of me always knew that there would have to be some kind of 9 to 5 to have money to live off and end up somewhere or go somewhere, change where you live, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it wasn't planned out, but I'm happy with how it's unfolded.
Is teaching supporting your art or replacing it?
It's supporting it. It's quite inspiring interacting with students in different ways, and I like to think of my practice as very separate to the teaching that I have.
Do you feel seen as an artist or just visible?
I would say just visible as a creative. Because even though there's some great students here, there's few that appreciate that I create separately from the current role of helping them be creative. But I still find it kind of weird. I wouldn't go up to someone and say, I'm an artist.
If a machine can produce something similar, what makes your work yours?
Everything that's behind the final outcome. So separate from the finished painting or the finished design, the finished print, there's research and doodles and sketchbooks and notes that make the artwork what it is, not just the final outcome, which is something that the digital generative instant image doesn't have.
Do you think that's enough nowadays?
It's less valued than it was when there wasn't the digital world, but it is slowly creeping in and people are valuing it more, especially the younger generation, the ones that are bringing back like the importance of second-hand and sustainability, and that appreciate creativity more.
From a financial perspective, do you think art is accessible?
Yes. To be consumed, it can get expensive if you want to support your local artists and things because of how expensive some prints can cost. But you can also show that support on Instagram, online, on websites. Art is everywhere, in all different forms, from films to collections that you've got from vintage stores, and how you dress, and how you decorate your house. So it's very accessible and all around you. To interact with it, you don't need the most expensive kit to create. Pencil and paper, very like that little drawing app that you had on your DS when you got bored. You can make anything from anything. You can create a film just with the camera on your phone. You could write a book just from the notes in your phone app. You can do anything. And it is accessible. You just need to have the mindset to create.